Good evening, campers, dreamers, and babysitters. After what has felt like an eternity, we finally have our first look at Robert Eggers' fourth feature film, Nosferatu. The trailer is currently playing exclusively in theaters in front of the bike riders, and me being the impatient Eggers fanboy that I am, I paid a full price ticket to go and see it. Not the movie, just the trailer. I had to leave. I didn't have all the time to sit down and watch it. The Bike Riders looks good. I know this is probably going to be like one of many people who say this, but it looks good. I do want to see it. I'm sorry. Time's a problem. Either way, we're here to talk about it. I have a couple things up front that I want to say. Yes, this trailer has already leaked online, so if you do want to see it, you can see it. I highly recommend maybe waiting, though, or going out to see the Bike Riders, because there's a lot in here that you're just missing from that current boot that's out there. And yeah, I will be showing some still images from said leak, only to illustrate my points, but that's going to be in like a spoilery section of this. If you are just anticipating the trailer and just want to know my raw thoughts and feelings, we're going to start off with just that. And for those of you who are just finding us for the first time, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoy the video. We have a lot of great horror-related content, so I hope that you like this video, share it with your friends, and of course, hit that subscribe button. So kicking things off, I mean, for those of you who don't know, Nosferatu has been a major passion project for Robert Eggers for some time now. The guy fell in love with this character after flipping through a vampire book in elementary school, seeing Count Orlok, and just tracking down the film. And this was just like a connection that he made, you know, like everybody has that movie if you're a filmmaker that just got you to want to make films. And this, by all accounts from Eggers, is Nosferatu. Not only that, but when he was 17, he went ahead and directed a stage play at his high school of Nosferatu. So yes, this is in his blood, and it is so exciting as a huge fan of his work and as a fellow filmmaker to see him get to realize the ultimate dream. So I've buried the lead long enough. How is the trailer? I mean, it's Eggers, man. It's full of atmosphere. It's beautifully composed. And overall, I think that although I feel like it's not as subtle as something like what we've gotten with Longlegs and with a couple of other more recent trailers, I think that it does just the right amount as far as just getting us prepared for this long trek to December when we get to finally see this film. And what do I mean by that exactly? Well, I'm mostly talking about the fact that we're not getting any plot points in this. This is more or less a glorified teaser trailer. So, you know, it's not something as simple as just a couple of shots. No, we see a good bit, but again, not a lot of heavy dialogue. It's more of the same line being repeated over and over by multiple characters. They keep saying that he's coming, and they're not talking about who it is. And of course, we all know, being avid horror lovers, that they are talking about Count Orlok. And yeah, this is just one of those things that you can really sense the tension the moment the trailer starts. You get these old-timey text coming up on screen, and then I know a lot of people seem to have an issue with her, but I think she looks great in this. Lily Rose Depp comes on screen, and it really just starts to immerse you. You get sucked into this world, and I think one of the big elements for me that has sold me on this film thus far has got to be the scope of this thing. Eggers has said that this is a middle ground between his budget on The Northman and what he had for The Lighthouse, and I am honestly blown away by that. Granted, they could be showing the most flashiest shots, but it looks so grand. Everything on that screen just looked massive. It looks like this is going to be a slow, sprawling tale that is not going to skimp on the details, which is what Eggers fans have grown to love about his work. He's very detail-oriented, and you get a huge sense for that in this trailer. With that does come the drawback that no, there isn't a lot of horror in this trailer necessarily. I would say there is, but to the traditional horror, goer, this might not have the blood and the jump scares and everything. But I again think that it does a really great job of just kind of getting us prepped and started to see what is on the horizon for us here. And do we see Count Orlok? Kind of. We see some shots, some brief imagery of him. One where he's kind of sitting on the floor. They do a really good job of keeping him silhouetted because I don't think they want to give that away. Personally, and I know this isn't going to happen because, it's a business and they're going to want to show the main character, but I would just wait. At this point, I don't even want to see another trailer after this, to be honest. I think this does enough for me. And I think that they should just not show Count Orlok at all. Only show us the shadows and the glimpses that we got, because I think that it's going to leave a bigger impact going into the theater. But at the end of the day, what do I know? I personally think that less is more when it comes to these things. But I am not just the general movie-going audience. I am just me. But yeah, I think as a trailer goes, it was very good, very atmospheric. Willem Dafoe is kind of looking more or less like a central character than I was anticipating. I kind of thought that he'd be more of a side character, but they really show a lot of him in the trailer, and he seems to be doing quite a lot. Nicholas Hoult pops up a couple of times in there. He doesn't end up saying much. He looks like he's going to be going through some rough stuff, though, about halfway through, and I'm really, really excited. We do get one brief look at Aaron Taylor-Johnson. Again, no dialogue, nothing there. But yeah, as far as their looks go, the costume, the setting, it all just looks so good. And again, really grand. There's a really big sense of scope when it comes to this film, and it blows my mind that this is apparently less of a budget than The Northman was, which The Northman, granted, had a ton of scope. It was definitely a very epic movie, but I don't know if it's just the Eggers fanboy in me, or if it's just the fan of old gothic horror. I just think this thing looks incredible. Alrighty, so that's everything I gotta say about the trailer in a nutshell. I am now going to kind of move into some specifics, some more spoilery bits. I am going to show a couple of those things from the leak. So if you are just going to wait for the trailer to pop up online, probably next week, maybe even over the weekend, I totally respect that and I get it. Thank you for sticking around and watching this, and let's get into it. So the trailer opens up with Lily Rose Depp again coming to the screen, and she is just peering through the darkness and starts saying, "Come to me, come to me. Hear my call." And you're kind of waiting, the music's building up, and then suddenly we see the hand of who I assume is Count Orlok grasping her around the neck. After that, we get a large sweeping shot. We see some of the city. We see Nicholas Hoult riding on horseback going across this large field and then running through the city. And we hear Lily again as she's saying, "Does evil come from within, or does it come from beyond?" And the way it's framed is it seems like she's talking to Willem Dafoe, who is the professor. And again, this is really establishing that Willem Dafoe is probably playing a much bigger role in this than I was anticipating. But I'm really intrigued to see the dynamic here. I also get the sense that Lily James is not going to be in this movie very much. That immediately throws us into a large sweeping shot of the castle, and it just looks glorious. It looks obviously a bit more CG than I was expecting from an Eggers film, but it could just be the color grading on this too. It's very blue. It's supposed to emulate very cold, but it doesn't look bad. It looks really good. I just don't know how they would accomplish it otherwise. And you see from that shot going forward, we see Nicholas Hoult moving through the castle, I assume, coming up to this grand coffin. And it's not just a wooden box. It's very ancient. It's very black and gray steel. It looks very classy, very elegant. And we immediately jump to that, to what I can only assume is Count Orlok, as he is surrounded by candles, munching down on something. His back is turned to us. He does have a bit of hair, so maybe not. I don't know. Orlok's definitely appearing a bit differently in this one than he does in the original, so I'm very curious to see where this shot's going to lie in the film. After that, we of course get a few more "he is coming," different characters now saying it throughout the trailer, and then we get my all-time favorite shot of this trailer, which is the village, the cityscape, and Orlok's shadowy hand gliding across the village. Again, just the epicness of this trailer. You can sense that this is a very big, gritty, and dark film, and I am so excited to see really where this goes after this, because I think that if they really nail this and they really deliver on what we've seen so far, especially with shots like this is what will set this apart from your atypical vampire stuff that we've been seeing. And I really think that this does have a shot at becoming something really special. At this point, we're in the final stretch of the trailer, so, tension's really picking up, music's still bounding and boasting, and we just get a lot of quick shots of people carrying coffins. It looks like at one point somebody's jamming a stake into something. We clearly see Count Orlok biting down on somebody's throat, and then lots of screaming. Just multiple characters screaming. At one point there's 2 little girls who are screaming, and it all comes down to these final 2 shots. One of Count Orlok where he looks like he's draped in almost these like furs, and you kind of have him turning his head, and you only see a little bit of it. Clearly it's that Bill Skarsgård kind of no hate, large forehead looking fella, and it just I love it. I love that we didn't really get to see him and we only get a taste. And then we get the final shot, which is very Omen centric, of the outline of Orlok with a dog, and it's just shrouded in these dark blacks and blues, and man, it is so cool. And as that shot's going on, we hear Willem Dafoe. We see a brief glimpse of him opening a book as he says, "We are here encountering a vampire," and of course we see that shot I was describing. And then cut back to Willem Dafoe, and he says, "Nosferatu." And we get the trailer font. I'll throw that up on screen for you here. And that is the trailer. And again, like I said in my opening with the spoiler-free stuff, I'm so excited for this. I think that this is pitch perfect as far as just what I could have envisioned a Nosferatu tale told by Robert Eggers. Again, it could just be a really well-cut trailer. The movie could suck. I doubt it, but I think that this looks great, and I do stand by not really needing anything more than that. I'm really excited to obviously see a poster and get some more images if we can, but I don't necessarily know if I need another trailer. This might turn into another one that I just kind of try to avoid. I'm doing that currently with Longlegs. But yeah, I mean, the December's going to be here before we know it, and we'll be able to witness this thing soon enough, and I just cannot wait. This is definitely one of my most anticipated films of the year, and for good reason. I think that this is a strong showing, and I am excited for everybody else who is waiting for the trailer to drop to check this thing out in its full glory. Again, the boot does not do the color grade any justice. It doesn't do any of the quality any justice. Even the images I'm showing don't do any kind of justice. I tried to kind of tweak them and sharpen them so that way you could at least get some definition out of them. But yeah, I mean, that's the Nosferatu trailer, guys. I am, again, so excited. So other than that, got a lot of great stuff up on the channel. Got a lot more stuff on the horizon. We just posted kind of like a pick 10 list of, must-watch summer horror films, and that seems to be doing really well. So we have a few more things planned for that, thankfully. So hopefully you guys will enjoy those lists as much as you enjoyed this first one. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up for us. So until next time, guys, I am Dylan Newell, and remember, stay scared.
Do the horse shit, gonna do it live, cause Splattercast kick it every day they live. Splattercast, gonna smash your ass. Splattercast, gonna smash your ass. Splattercast, gonna smash your ass. Splattercast, gonna smash your ass.